we've talked about how easy the schedule is and how dominant Marquez Valdes-Scantling is and how much better Sky Moore makes his team. And then Brandon Ayuk's going to come back, and then DeMarcus, and then all these players. This could be a dominant team by the end of the season. But if it doesn't all come together, and somehow, despite all this abundance of talent and this easy schedule, the Niners have another losing season for whatever reason, will the Niners fire Kyle Shanahan?
I think the first firing will be John. Even though I'll disagree with it, I think the first firing would be John. I think they'd fire John this season, and then if they had another losing season next year, they'd fire Kyle.
I don't think that's fair.
I don't either.
I think they came in together, they go out together. Because that's the way I look at it. I think it's possible they both get fired if they have another losing season. Because if they have a losing season, they'll be like, well, we had injuries. Okay, but you have no depth. And that was the issue last year. And why don't you have depth? Well, you drafted really poorly for a few years. I mean, Drake Jackson out of the league.
Exactly.
Jake Moody. Like, you kept Jake Moody for hella long. You traded away a bajillion picks for Trey Lance, and that was wrong. Whether or not he was good or not, you shouldn't have traded for him. Whether or not he got enough of an opportunity, you shouldn't have traded for him. Even though he's my favorite player of all time, you shouldn't have traded for him. And it's costing you now. You hitched your wagon to Brock Purdy. If he can't lead you to the playoffs despite, having, the white Odell Beckham Jr. on the team, then that's on you. I'm just saying.
I mean, that, in my opinion, I agree. One, they waited too long. I think if you're going to fire Kyle, you should have fired him this season and gotten Ben Johnson. You can't fire Kyle and then hire, I don't know. Is this guy going to be good?
Oh, no, wait, hold on. What about this? You fire Kyle, you promote Robert Saleh, and hire Mike McDaniel to be the offensive coordinator. So you change nothing, but you just get out the choke artist.
Players seem to hate Mike McDaniel, man. They do not seem to like him in Miami.
They don't seem to respect him as a leader of men.
So how
at least not in Miami,
an
but as an offensive coordinator, I think everyone respects him.
How could he lead an offense if he can't lead it?
He doesn't have to. It's Robert Saleh's team.
Maybe, but I just think it's John. I think the Niners will turn over every rock before firing Kyle. They do not want a Harbaugh thing to happen again. You know how bad they look right now with Harbaugh doing what he's been doing? If they do that with Kyle and say Kyle goes to whoever, say Kyle goes to the Cowboys, it makes them relevant again. You know how bad they're going to look if both of the coaches, Jed York fired, end up just being amazing.
But what if the problem this year is the offense? What if it's the finesse offense and the old offense and there's injuries and the quarterback isn't quite elite?
Kyle's going to say, what could I have done?
Huh?
Kyle's going to say,
I didn't even mention the Brandon Ayuk contract. That's another problem. What if he comes back this year and isn't nearly what he used to be?
Kyle's just going to go, what could I have done? You guys drafted all defense.
Yeah, because you spent all your money on offense. We had to go cheap on defense because you paid Trent, who's 80. You paid Kyle Juszczyk, who's 65. You paid George Kittle, who's 59.
Then Kyle's going to look at him and be like,
Brandon Ayuk, who's injured.
Like, I didn't want you to sign Purdy to a $250 million contract. Would have saved a lot of money.
Yes, you did. What were our options? You drafted Trey Lance. What were you wanted Brock Purdy?
I'm telling you, man.
You didn't want you could have had Tom Brady. Kyle, you didn't want him. This is your guy.
Okay, do you genuinely
we didn't force you to have Brock Purdy? You told us his dude was great.
You genuinely think, your opinion aside, you genuinely think they'd fire Kyle over John?
If he goes 7-10 this year, I think so. I think
really.
So. I think fans would be tired of him, man. I don't think that. I think fans.
Our fan base is emotional. Of course they are, but I don't think
the ownership is emotional.
Who would they hire though? Saleh
and McDaniel.
What if his defense is meh, and that's partly why they went 7-10? What if they're both sides of the ball are average, and that's why they went 7-10 because everything was average? Then you're firing John.
There's guys.
You have to fire John. And I don't think it's fair. I like John. I also don't think John's a great drafter. But
here's the thing. What if Brock Purdy really is the truth and he really is good and he's the best quarterback they're going to have for a long time?
Sure.
If he's good, you could argue that Kyle's holding him back at this point because he won't let Brock Purdy audible or set protections. You have a cerebral, smart quarterback, and you're treating him like he's a rookie. Maybe what Brock needs is a great defense, not a great scheme.
So many teams don't let their players change protections and audible. It's just too much for them to think
but DeMeco just fired his Kyle Shanahan offensive coordinator and brought in a different guy who's going to let CJ Stroud do that stuff. And that's DeMeco. That's Kyle's guy.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't see a universe in which they fire Kyle Shanahan. I don't think they would have
even if they go 7-10.
They would have to go 7-10 with their defense being a top 5 performing defense and their offense being bottom of the barrel. It would have to be something very bad on Kyle.
I mean, it could happen. The defense looked like it had its shit together in preseason. The backups seemed like they knew what they were doing. The offense was the group that was illegal shift, illegal formation, illegal shift, over and over and over again. And yeah, Carter Bradley isn't good, but I just wonder, is there depth on the offense? I mean, do they have a backup offensive lineman who's any good? Do you have? I don't know, man. Luke Farrell's good. Brian Robinson, you got some depth at wide receiver week 7 eventually, but that offensive line could just destroy everything, man.
Oh, Junior
as soon as Trent Williams
goes
down, everything's over. As soon as Trent Williams goes down, everything's over. The whole season.
Yes, but again, if my issue is
they're as good as their oldest players is durable. That's rough. I'm going to let you talk.
My issue with this is the fact that Kyle is, even with all the injuries last year, he was still top 5 in efficiency. Look at David Lombardi's tweets, dude. And all he speaks is
That's
facts.
True.
So
That's true.
Kyle had basically a top 10 offense last year with all the injuries. It would have to be a catastrophic offensive year for them to consider firing Kyle. I think his seat is warm. I'm completely with you where I think people are drunk if they think Kyle's not have a warm seat. But the domino that would have to fall first for Kyle getting fired would be John going. And I'll tell you another thing. I genuinely think that Purdy would be let go of before Kyle. I think Kyle would be the last domino to fall. They would have to let go of John and Purdy. And then if those two go, it'd be oh, shoot. Kyle's
Doesn't it just feel
out.
like the sheen is sort of coming off Kyle a little bit? He's been here 9 years.
Yes, I do. That's what I'm saying.
He's changed very little. I think people are getting a little tired of his excuses.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I completely agree. But again, I think those are the two dominoes that would have to fall first. I don't think there's a single universe where the Niners fire Kyle, whoever, with Saleh, John Gruden, whoever, and they go, yeah, you're gonna make it work with Saleh and then Purdy, or with John Lynch and then Purdy. Not Saleh, John Lynch and Purdy. I don't think that would exist.
If they could get Robert Saleh as the head coach and Mike McDaniel as the OC, I'd be down, because I feel like Robert Saleh is a better leader than Kyle, and I feel like Mike McDaniel is more creative than Kyle and a better play caller.
We can't let John off the hook, whether Kyle's giving input or not.
I would also
round draft picks.
No offense to John, who's been good to me. I would, they came in together. They go out together. I don't like the idea of picking one and then letting another. Nah, that's what you tried to do with Balky. Yeah. And when you find,
I agree.
Let them move on together somewhere else, and then bring in a different GM, and then that's how I would do it.
I 100% agree. I think if you're going to get rid of one, you need to get rid of both. I think head coaches and GMs are a duo. John's not drafting Javon Kinlaw without Kyle's input.
Correct.
He's not I just feel so strongly about.
And what's crazy about the Niners is they have a good you have a good scouting department. Everyone says you kept it around for so long. You could just elevate Tariq Ahmad or RJ Gilly. You don't have to bring in that many outside people. The one outside person you could bring in is Mike McDaniel, who was a 49er. When they moved on from Bill Walsh after 10 years, they didn't scrap what he built. They made George Seifert the head coach, and they elevated Mike Holmgren the offensive coordinator. They kept his general framework and just said, you're too old. Your voice has lost its effectiveness. We're going to move on, but keep everything you've built. And it worked. They got 2 more championships out of it. That's what I would do. I would honor what Kyle built, keep the best parts, not scrap it, and say, look, man, you had 10 years to show what you could do. You look like you're 60. It's over, man. It's over. Your offense isn't fooling people anymore. It's all built on this motion and stuff and tricking people. When the team that's the best, freaking Philly, They don't go in motion. They have 15 plays and all they do is push you around, and you have the smallest, lightest offensive line in the league. And yeah, they have like 6% body fat, but who freaking cares, man?
Yeah.
Who cares that they can run sideline? It doesn't matter. Your stuff is outdated, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think Kyle should get as much slack at this point. Like we've said, this is his 9th season as head coach.
9 times.
We've been through I hate when people say, well, we've been to a Super Bowl. I don't care.
I barely remember.
Care. Like, we were just, as a collective fan base,
we went to the Super Bowl. We humiliated ourselves in the Super Bowl. It was what an achievement.
We were cooking Nick Sirianni for years, myself included. I still am on record. I think Nick Sirianni's not that great of a coach. But why isn't that excuse for him? He went to a Super Bowl. Like, Kyle Shanahan, I don't care that he went to a Super Bowl. I do not care. If I wanted a coach that can go to Super Bowl, I would go grab McCarthy.
Ron Rivera went to 2 Super Bowls and lost.
Mike McCarthy won one. So that's not an excuse. I don't care. The ring, the ring bias in sports is one of the most obnoxious things I've ever seen, because it's like people get way too long of a leash when they even get close to it. It's like Doug Peterson. He was like awful for years after winning, and they're like, but he won. It's like, okay, his team was incredible. So I think true. Kyle's gotta I agree. I think if they have a losing season, Kyle should be fired.
Thank you.
He won't. He won't.
Well, we'll see. I feel like Jed's a little impressionable, and he sold 8% of his team. He's got new investors. They might agree. Maybe I'm one of the investors. You ever think about that?
Jed likes Kyle because, and all Kyle's gonna come back and say is, we need a real franchise quarterback. And that's it. That's all he's going to say.
Well, you can't find him. You wanted Trey.